Since you're here, you're either already familiar with the story of the London-based startup and the Phone One, wondering how the company's rapid cultivation of talent and hype manifests when distilled into a smartphone, or you're here because you've never heard of Nothing and are curious about what it offers in comparison to more well-known offerings. Before the nothingOS stick wireless earbuds launched in October 2022, the company had only produced the Ear One genuine wireless earbuds in 2021. Those first flowers were indicative of the company's style, and it was this design sensibility that was carried forward to subsequent devices like the Phone One. Nothing Network Release Phone One Pro. The Nothing brand's smartphone debut. The release month of this device was October of 2022. Launching with Android 12 is nothingOS on the Nothing Phone One Pro. The phone is compatible with 2G, 3G, 4G, and 5G networks. It supports LTE-A, CA-Cat20 at 2200 Mbps, LTE-A, PRL at 50 megabits per second, and 5G at HSPA 42.2 or 5.76 Mbps. Nothing Phone One Pro body, display, and there are 500 nits, TYP, 800 nits, HBM, and 1300 nits. Peak on the 6.55-inch AMOLED screen that runs at 90 Hz and supports HDR10+ on this smartphone. It has a pixel density of 526 ppi and a resolution of 1080 by 2400. The Nothing Phone One Pro has a weight of _G and measures 162.2 by 74.6 by 8.3 mm. Gorilla Glass, an aluminum frame, and a glass back give the Nothing Phone One Pro unrivaled protection. There are 3 color options for this phone: black, silver, and blue. Nothing Phone One Pro processor RAM. Phone components include an octa-core CPU, 1 x 3.2 GHz Creo 585 and 3 x 2.42 GHz Creo 585 and 4 x 1.80 GHz Creo 585. Chipset Qualcomm SM8250AC Snapdragon 875G, 7nm, and graphics processing unit Adreno 650. There are 2 different Nothing Phone One Pro models available. There is 128 GB, 256 GB of internal storage and 8 GB of random access memory. The Nothing Phone One Pro is a smartphone that uses Android 12.0, however instead of using Android, it uses something called nothingOS. Price and availability of the Nothing Phone One. The Phone One was introduced by Nothing on July 12, 2022, and it was released officially on July 21 in the United Kingdom, Europe, India, Japan, Hong Kong, and Australia. While Nothing has previously said that the Phone One will be available in the United States after its first introduction, the firm was unable to provide a specific timeframe for this to occur. In October 2022, the business said that it was in direct discussions with US carriers to deliver a smartphone to the area. However, the Phone One wasn't specifically named, indicating that Nothing's subsequent phone would instead be compatible with the US market. The Nothing Phone One comes in 3 different RAM storage combinations, each with its own price tag, £399, Euro for 69 AU $749 for the 8GB or 128GB version, £449 Euro 499 AU $749 for the 8GB, 256GB version, and £499 Euro 549, AU $899 for the 12GB, 256GB version. Those costs in the UK are about equivalent to $530, $590, and $625 in the US. Design of Nothing Phone. While we were able to familiarize ourselves with the Phone One's aesthetic thanks to Nothing's official press photos leading up to its release, actually holding the gadget in our own hands was a much more fulfilling experience. The straight metal body, rounded edges, flat front and back, and dual rear camera location give the Phone One a striking similarity to the iPhone 12. All you have to do is enlarge it and put it through an X-ray machine to see the similarities. You may wonder, why do we need an X-ray machine? The translucent rear of the Phone One is perhaps its most distinctive design feature.